All right, how's it going, everyone? It's Nick Atkin here, Sportskeeda MMA One Championship podcast. It is Wednesday, July 10. I am back in Hong Kong after 10 days on the road covering one championship, one Lumpinee 68, one Lumpinee 69, one Fight Night 23, back to back to back. Three big shows, lot to talk about. I got a couple of cool guests today for you. Mehdi Zatout, the Diamond Heart himself, who had a few fighters on those shows and a lot of success. And Peter Miller, my buddy, you will know him as Condition Nutrition, also been on the show a couple times. He had a clean sweep, 7 fighters making weight on the Friday and Saturday shows last weekend. Good week for him too. They'll be joining me in the next hour and a half. Medy's going to be first up soon, very soon, I believe, and Peter right after him. Also going to be talking all the latest news. A lot of stuff has happened as well. Some crazy stuff. Talk of Rashad Evans versus Rampage Jackson at 169 in Atlanta. An update on Stamp Fairtex today. Plenty of other things. Some injury updates as well. Tyson Harrison said it looks like he's going to be out for a while. All this and plenty more. Some fight announcements as well for Denver. Hiroyuki Tetsuka against Issei Fitikefu has been confirmed. Plenty more to talk about. Busy week for me. I'm back. Sorry I didn't talk to you guys sooner. Yeah, I hope to do a podcast or two while I was out in Bangkok, but things are busy. Yeah, very busy time for me. There's only so much I can do in a day, but I'm back now. We're gonna recap it all. We're gonna go through everything. A lot happened. But how are you all doing? Please drop a comment and all that kind of stuff in the chat. Nicola, good to see you too, as always. Too much has happened. Yes, a lot of things to get into. I don't know where to start, to be honest. I really don't. I'm thinking we start with the most recent, so Fight Night 23, and then we work backwards. Chester, what's up? My guy, Josh, good to see you, as always. I'm hoping Medy jumps in soon. Otherwise, I'm just going to dive into it. But I've sent Medy the link, so hopefully he's got it. He did say he'd be here around 9. Yeah, okay. Let's get into it then. Yeah, Fight Night 23. Ooh, I tell you what, guys, I enjoyed the show. I had pretty low expectations, just to be honest, given the card on paper. We had a short notice main event, bumped up from 3 rounds to 5, on short notice with the interim title thrown in, and then one of the guys in the main event missed weight, so he couldn't win the title, and then he ended up winning. That is Alibeg Rasulov beat Okrayun, former lightweight MMA champ. So there is no interim lightweight MMA champion now. Yes, it was a bit of a flat note to end the show, but you know what? I actually enjoyed everything else on the card, pretty much everything else, and I wasn't expecting to, but there were some brilliant knockouts, some brilliant finishes. So we'll get into all of that. But yes, we'll talk about that main event first because I guess we have to. Okrayun, it was a unanimous decision for Ali Beg. I don't envy the judges. A tough one to score. It wasn't a very exciting fight. Not a lot of action happening. I felt like Ali Beg just kind of tried to take Okrayun. Didn't even try to take him down. I'm sorry. He just tried to clinch him, and then that was that. He didn't have much else going on. Oak has great takedown defense. Rallied quite strong in the end of the fight, but it wasn't one for the ages, guys. It was not. It really wasn't a great fight. So yes, as I said, no interim champion now. No idea what happens with Christian Lee. I think the plan was perhaps for Oak to win the belt, or even Ali Beg, and then you've got a match for Christian, right? Maybe in Atlanta. But now, I think one may be scratching their heads. Who do they bring on? But anyway, Medy is here. I'm gonna bring Medy in. Medy, how you doing?
Hi, how are you? Good.
Good to see you, Medy. I will take this off the screen briefly. Yeah, good to catch up. How's everything in Pattaya?
It's hot, bro. Very hot today.
Yeah, same in Hong Kong. Very hot here. But
Yeah.
tell you what's also hot right now is Venum Training Camp. You guys on a roll. you got
Yes.
A lot of wins last weekend. 3 huge victories that I can think off the top of my head. Obviously, Nabil Anane winning the contract, beating Kulabdam. Vampara Kayate with that incredible comeback. He was knocked down in the third round, pulled it out of the fire there. And Black Panther with incredible head kick KO. Great weekend for you, Medy. How are you feeling after it?
You also forget Helbus Osmanov.
There you go. There you go. There's too many to remember. That's how successful you were.
Yeah, it was amazing night, like I said, and it's not only about one night. It's about a lot of hours, a lot of week, months of training, and hard work for all of my team. Not only me, it's also the sparring partners who they taking care of everything. I can say also Peter also condition nutrition is also helping me my team a lot, helping me also. Yes, it's about everything. It's also many people also coming on the beside to help my fighters because about training is not about fight camp. People don't know about it's 20% about the training and 80% is about the mind. And when your mind is not here, you cannot do nothing.
Yeah, and it's quite a turnaround because last time I saw you, I think it was in May. You had a couple of tough losses on that card, especially in the main event, and you guys all bounced back. Cincinnati lost and Talia lost, but you
Yes.
really the gym has bounced back. It shows your solidarity, right?
Yes, I try. I every week we meet all with my team, sit down, and try to find what is wrong, what is good, what we have to working on, and yes, yeah, I have my camp is not like all the camp in Thailand or over the world. My camp is like we are so many styles different, so many nations different, so many weight different, and it's quite difficult to be all together. And this is my main goal to try to have all my team together with one love of martial arts.
Yes. Whenever I speak to any of your fighters, they always have such high words of praise for you, and I it's not fake. I can tell it's real. I can tell they all really love you. Even Sinsima started crying when I asked him about you once. These guys love you for real. How I've never seen this in any other gym. Really, I'm being honest. How did you foster such a close connection with everyone?
Um, I don't know. It's about myself. I try to do all I can. I'm not only I'm not the manager like I try to manage them, and I'm trained with them, I spar with them, I teach them, I hold the path for them. I give the game plan for them, I corner them, I speak with them. I did a lot.
Now, is it making a difference that you're able to actually be in the stadiums again? Because we all know what happened. You had the thing with Alaverdi last November. He ended up getting you and himself suspended for 6 months, and you're finally back now in the stadiums. Do you feel you've been able to lift up your fighters by being able to be in their corners?
Of course, it's totally different. I don't know. I'm not magician, but I know when you are outside, especially when I was fighting, when I fight inside the ring, I can see a lot of. I'm technical fighter, so I like to see the thing is open, and when I'm outside, and I don't have the stress of the fight. When I am outside, I can see a lot. So yes, sometimes I can wrong, but 99% are always right. I push my fighters also know that I can give the right game plan for them.
Can you tell us what's going on with Alaverdi? Because no one really knew what happened at the end of that fight with Petanong. He seemed to injure his foot or his knee or something. Do you have any information you can share?
Yes, it's many years ago he gets surgery on his legs, and during the fight camp he get hurt again on the same legs. So I don't know how he block or something like that. Is the He cannot put his feet, and it's not about it's little bit was a little bit open, but yes, it's difficult to. It's a old injury coming back.
All right, comment from Tetsuya here saying Medy is a good coach after Sinsumet and Natalia's lost via body shots. He posted no one in the camp can skip abs conditioning sessions now. Are you still doing that every day?
Yes. Yeah, you know, if I can explain, it's not the body shot they got. My two fighters, Natalia and Sinsamut. If I can say the truth, that Sinsamut now also the all the one team know everything about that. That Sinsamut got a jab on his eye, and he got some wall on his retina. So after that shoot, that jab on the eye, he tried to protect himself, and after he protect himself, he go to the his opponent go to the body, and of course when you protect your face, your body is open, you get hurt on your body, and after he go when he go to down to protect his body because the mind work like that, you know. You saw he got the knees on the face, the elbows, and yes, now we don't have a 8 count stand up, so very difficult to understand the game like that, you know. So why he don't get 8 counts? So is the weight that he go on the floor, and I cannot teach my fighter that they have to when they get hurt they have to put one knee on the floor, you know. That they try to explain me that you have to do like that, you know. But we are building warriors. We cannot say that my fighters, oh, if you hurt, put your knee down, you know. So
Absolutely.
it's quite difficult. And about Natalia, she got a lot of she got one punch, and this punch hurt her. And yes, and she go back and she get the body shot, of course. Yes, and after, I don't think she get I don't think it was the body shot make end of the fight, but. Even me, I don't understand why they stop the fight because also about the head counts stand up cannot be in, you know. So I don't know. Yes.
Well, I'm sure they'll both be back, but let's talk about some of the guys and girls who were on top this weekend. I got to ask you about Nabil. Incredible performance from him. A lot of
Yeah.
people thought this would be, a very tough test. Cool him down. We know what he's all about. Nabil coming up in weight. He looked like a monster, didn't he, in this weight class? He was just unreal.
Mm.
Yeah, talk me through it, Mehdi. It was a brilliant performance.
Yeah, great performance. Nabil was full ready for this fight camp. We was three to prepare him, you know, and he's tall, you know, and it's difficult to take care of him, you know, because he's quite big now. And I think maybe 50-50 I can make a mistake, like maybe I don't know why I don't put him up to the bottom weight before, you know.
Yeah, and one of your other guys I was talking to, he's also going up to featherweight from bantamweight. That is Yunus Rabah.
Yes,
He's looking to get a fight. Looks like with Eddie Abasolo. I know you were
yes.
trying to keep him at bantamweight for a while. Do you still think that's maybe his best weight, or do you agree with his nutritionist Peter? You mentioned that maybe he should go up. Now's the time.
Yeah, the problem with Younes is that he's on the middle, really on the middle. If the category was 68, was perfect, you know. But it's okay. Now, Younes walking around, say, 74, 75 is perfect, you know. No need to cut weight. And like I said, the strength of Younes is his power and how he forward, you know. And when he lose weight and cut weight, some guys can recover very fast, some guys cannot, you know. And last time he was so weak, and against on the last fight with Samepet, he was so weak. He threw maybe 4 or 5 times before one night, or before the night of the fight. So I don't understand why he did like that. You know, so when you cut a lot of weight, body reacts different of sometime. You know, so I don't want to cut more weight, and we just working at 73 and 74 and lose maybe 2 kilo before the fight, and that's it.
Yeah, you can see how good it is when you fight in your more natural weight class. Nabil was incredible. He just looked so much bigger when I saw him. He looks like he's grown in the last year, like taller, and he's filled
Yeah,
out a lot, right?
we didn't check his high now, but I think he growing a lot. Yeah, now I think he's more than 192. You know, 192. Maybe now he's maybe now 193, 94. I think.
What do you think is the ceiling for him in one championship? No pun intended. Do you think he can win the belt? We saw, it didn't go his way when he fought super like a flyweight, but maybe if they rematch, do you think it would go differently this time? Superlik may have the belt soon as well.
Sure, definitely. Sure. Nabil is now he show his talent of and power with the clinching and the knees. But before that, he have a very good boxing skill. He can fight both guard, orthodox or southpaw, and he have a nice kick because the people don't know that he formed taekwondo, so he have a lot of nice kick, speeding kick. He never used because in one championship, if you miss something, we cannot have this opportunity to miss some kicks or some acrobatic kicks. So we want to do the real thing like go forward, knees, elbows, lock. Yes. When he lock you, bro, it's too difficult. Nobody want to clinch with him. In the gym.
Do you know anything about this? Because a lot of people, Chatri is saying he offered Panpayak the fight with Nabil a few times, and Panpayak
two,
turned it
yeah,
down.
two times we got the one time was I think we got the boot agreement one time, and he disappeared, and one time also they changed with another opponent in the last minute. Yeah, 3 or 2 times I don't remember. Yes, Pompayak refused to fight with Nabil. Yes.
Do you think he is scared? That's what some people saying. I don't believe it. But what do you think about Panpayak saying no to
He's big.
Nabil?
Kiopayak fought Nabil in the 5 round in stadium in rank 6. A few years ago. So why Pompayak scared now? I don't know.
Yeah, would you like to see him come back?
Pompayak?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like his style. His left kick is the best of the game. Yeah, maybe let's see if he can come back. I saw some video that he come back. Let's see.
Tetsuya here says he has a feeling Nabil will be your biggest star ever. He's a star in the making for sure. Do you feel that way? He might be, one of your like, your biggest names that you have at the gym in a couple of years.
Nabil, like everybody know in my gym, is special. I work with Nabil since I opened my gym, and before or not, I don't have my gym. Because his family is like my family. His father is my best friend and my big brother. So we have a good relationship. We are same family. It's not about. I work with Nabil since he baby. He's young, like 12 years old, something like that. So the story is not the same. As the thing will be very big for me. On the hand.
Now we talked about Peter. He's going to jump in as well. You may see him before you leave. But do you think maybe Black Panther could work with him? Because we had the problem with the weight there. He maybe would have got $50,000 bonus, I think, if he hadn't
Yes,
missed weight.
Black Panther don't have any problem of weight. So why didn't didn't call Peter for get some help? On the day of the weigh, he just have 500 grams to lose. Was funny, and yeah, I told him to go run a little bit. He drank some water and to get to hydrate his body, and I don't know. I say, okay, my weight is done. I say, you sure? I say, okay. I was taking care of Bambi, and I say, your weight is okay. He say, yes, I'm on 135. I say, okay, but be careful if the weight is not the same. Is the scale not the same? Maybe the official scale maybe is heavier than your scale. He say, I check last time. It's the same. Taiwan people. I listen. I trust, and we go down and he check and we have to take off the underwear and 100 gram man for we lost 50K.
Yeah, it's a shame, but he showed what he's all about, right? He's a future star as well, I think.
No problem. Yeah, no problem. Well, the money is come and leave, and we don't care. Like for me, is what is important is to show that to all the world that we can build some name and show that champion is made in the gym, and that's it. The money is not come today, it will come tomorrow, brother. No problem.
Yeah, and no bonus either for Bampara, Koyate, Bambi, as you mentioned. That one was also a bit of a shock to me. I know you
Yes.
were a bit upset. I spoke to you backstage. He did very well, didn't he? Beating Luke Lisi.
Yes, I tried to find a way why he didn't get, but Yes, he was so happy, and I was so sad for him. I don't care. This is his money, But why he was so happy? He was trying to do like that. Oh, and and I say, okay, Mish not coming up. Okay, no bonus. Okay, okay, next time, no problem. And yes, Bombi, he accept and no problem. It's depend of the big boss. If he decide if he like or don't like, or maybe if he don't see or even he see, I don't know. I didn't especially believe me, I didn't ask why, but because I was so happy. I prefer to get this 4 victory and don't get any bonus, to get only 1 bonus and three losses.
Yeah, and he told me, Bambi, that top 5 is more important than any money, and he says he's got
Yes.
money anyway. I think he's a model, right? And he's making some sweet money.
Yeah. So Bombi is special. Is a special fighters that we cannot find because he's so talented, and he have a so beautiful Muay Thai skill. And this is why starting to talking. Luke started talking like I will show my Muay Thai skill, but I knew that that Bombi have a better skill and faster, and is taller than Luke. And I said to Bombi, let's go, brother, show him what is Muay Thai. From where we we learn. And yes, he did amazing fight for me, and he showed me good heart also as well. Because he gets some knockdown. He look at me, I say, let's go, brother. Now we have to go and fight. And he come back and get he go to the uppercut. Was nice.
Oh yeah, well here is Pete, condition nutrition himself. This reunion for the boys.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, Medy, before you go, I just wanted to get Pete's reaction to it as well, about Nabil especially. A lot of people have been saying he should go up. Pete, you feel this weight class is perfect for him, right?
Absolutely. I think it's less stress for Medy, less stress for me. Perfect. Like he didn't cut much weight. He was eating good throughout the fight camp. So it's a win-win scenario.
Anonymous here saying maybe based on his height, Nabil could eventually be lightweight or featherweight if he puts on Lima. Do you see that being possible, guys?
For me, I think in 1.5 years, yes, featherweight. Maybe in 1 or 2 years, yes.
Pete, would you like that too?
Yeah, when he eventually gets the belt and then move up again.
Yes.
All right, then another one quickly for Medy, if you got time. Tetsuya asking, when will PTT come to one, and will he fight at bantamweight? His style is perfect for one, and he already has over 1.6 million social media followers, so he can be a big star in one. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, Prototor is he got his end of contract, end of the year, and of course we are already talking with one to start to work with Prototor. Of course, Prototor is a machine, in my gym.
And do you think Yanis will be better than Nabil in terms of skill, technical abilities, and fight IQ?
Yeah, it's totally different. Yes, Yunis is Yunis. He can find many styles. Yes, he can be Muay Krao, he can be Muay Fimeux. Yes, he is not. Yunis is growing very fast, and the Muay IQ of Yunis is high for his age. Yes.
All right, this is the last one for Medy because going to get him out of here. Story of the fight. How nice is it to have a really tall fighter that actually uses his range effectively? There are a lot of tall fighters that never take advantage of that.
What he said? How nice.
I think this is about Nabil. How nice is it to have someone who's very tall and uses their range effectively?
Okay, it's about with Nabil. We cannot use. It's difficult, man. It's the MMA gloves. To keep distance because he have a good range and he is tall. It's very difficult because in one championship, if you try to fight with defense, it's impossible. You have to offense and attack all the time because like I said to my team, the best defense is attack. So when you fight in one championship, start directly to be the first who attack and who is the first who have the advantage. If you try to make a Muay Fimeux or to try to block and to defense and kick back, difficult to block the boxing when you get the boxing with MMA glove, you know.
All right, final message then from you, Medy. If you have anything to say, who's up next for the gym, and what can we expect?
What the next for the gym? Right now I do an extension. Venum is trying to build an amazing MMA team with also great coaches and also the good partner on striking. So yes, now for the future for Venum is to also get the belt on each category. This is my dream, and let's see the future. Let's God play in the future for us.
Yeah, and how happy are you to have Peter with you helping out? I think he's got a few of your guys now, hasn't he?
Okay, Peter, how are you, brother? Good.
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Just another weight cut tomorrow, so just chilling in the hotel room. Got Stevie this weekend. So
okay.
Yeah,
Stevie Irvine, yeah. Well, yeah, thanks, Medy, for joining us. Appreciate your time, man. And
thank you so much.
I'm sure I'll see you again soon. Yeah, you got anyone on the August card, Fight Night 24?
Some maybe we are talking.
Yeah, sure I'll see you there. All right.
Yes,
Have a
thank you.
good one. Thank you,
see you
Medy.
soon.
All right.
See you soon.
Thank you. See you, bro. Bye-bye.
All right, that's Mehdi Zatout. We're gonna get into it with Peter Miller, Condition Nutrition. What's up, Peter? Good to see you again. It's been a few days.
That's mate. I feel like I see you all the time now.
Yes, yes.
See you more than my family.
Yeah. It's fun, you know. I owe you. You bought me a couple pieces of KFC as well. I think I owe you next time.
We can't be telling people I'm having KFC.
Yeah, that was
going down, man.
Post-fight cheat meal. Yeah,
you got to do the post-fight cheat meal, haven't you?
Absolutely. All right.
Did you
Sorry?
Did you leave on Sunday or Monday?
I left Sunday. Yeah. So got back Hong Kong Sunday night. Yeah, and pretty tired. It was a long 10 days. I think you saw how dead I was at the end. Yeah, it's a rough run, wasn't it? 3 big shows: Friday Fight 68, the pay-per-view, then Fight Night 23 with Lumpinee, obviously the night before it. How is it for you when you have such a run of big shows back to back to back? How do you? I know I saw you running around the place like a madman, and you had 7 people last weekend. It must be tough, right?
Do you know what? It is tough, and I don't even think it's physically demanding. It's just mentally, where you're just thinking of the numbers. Right, someone's up there, and you've got to work out. All right, how much have they drank? Have they done this? Done that? And then it's just mentally draining. And once it's finished, the adrenaline dump just hits you. We had the last couple of weeks have been, especially like the Bella, Conthorny, and then the 7 people on the Thursday card. Like, it was probably the Thursday card, the weigh-in, sorry, was probably one of the easiest and smoothest I've had, because a couple of times where I've had 5 people, 4 people weighing in, certain circumstances have happened that you're aware about what's happened, like certain people haven't followed things, but everything went to plan. Everyone weighed in with, I think the last person that weighed in was Ellis with an hour and 30, hour and 40 to go, and yeah, no dramas whatsoever.
Yeah, it was looking a little dicey with Ellis, wasn't it? I saw he came in a few times to unofficially check the weight, and that's when I start worrying when I see people and they haven't done an official one, and you're getting towards the final hour, then you know there's a problem. You must have been having kittens.
Sometimes it happens where you think you've got the time, and then certain things happen. You get called into rules meetings, and you've got to do a medical, and you're in the middle of cutting weight, and you don't realize how much that takes the time off, and then you're getting back to it. You're doing the weight cutting process again. Your body temperature has to rise, start the sweating process, and then you think, oh shit, like time's actually taken away. Like, we always knew Ellis was going to make it. We just, with the scales game that's happened recently, we just wanted to double check, get the scales beforehand, make sure he was all good. I think last time he checked his weight, he was 300 grams off. So it just took another 10 or so minutes in the weight cutting. What's the word? Don't want to say what we use, but the weight cut method, and then he was done.
All right, I'm going to get your thoughts on Nico Carrillo in a minute. Just going to jump into these comments. Dick is saying, Nick, I was surprised to see you didn't have a great seat at one Friday fight 68, category 2 and off center. Why one don't give you a proper seat? Well, I don't know. It's a pretty decent seat. The media section is it's kind of right, in front of it. It's not VIP. You don't get ringside at Lumpinee if you're media. You do get it if you're at the Singapore shows or the stadium ones. But it's just the way the seating plan is in Lumpinee. I actually like the view there. It's not bad. But anyway, I'm always rushing back and forth from that seat to the media room, which is literally another building. It's outside the stadium and across the street almost. So I don't really care how good my seat is there. It's fine. I actually like the view. I can see most of the ring and it's convenient. But yeah. Anyway, they always hook me up with a good spot. I'm not unhappy. All right, where's your seat, Pete? Do you sit with the media bit there, or you're in the VIP or what?
I was part of Luke's corner. I was in Luke's corner, wasn't I, for this fight? So
I got
one of the bands. So I was kind of in and out, and then I was watching where the guys usually come out to the right. That's where you can kind of watch if you've got a wristband. So that's my normal spot when I'm watching. That's where I watch Nico and Stefan and Ellis.
Yeah, so Lucy was one of your guys. We were talking to Medy. Obviously, Bamparo was one of his guys at his gym. Yeah, it was a bit of an upset, I guess. Have you spoken to Luke? How's he feeling? I saw him in the hotel afterwards. He had a nasty.
He's obviously
his eye was pretty messed up. Yeah.
Well, he said after that elbow in the first round, felt his face was broken. So you could. There was something in the fight. You could tell he just wasn't really responding to his dad, what he was saying. He just wasn't really all there, and I think it explains it now. When he got that elbow, it kind of just knocked him for 6, really, where he just wasn't really all there. And yeah, it was unfortunate because Luke's an entertaining fighter, and you probably seen yourself. It wasn't his first couple of rounds. He wasn't really all there, and then the third round when he put it on him, he was doing some damage and knocked him down. And then, but Luke will come back. Luke's he's a likable guy. He's a good fighter, and he's a marketable person for one. So they're gonna. I'm sure once he recovers, they'll get him back on as soon as possible.
Story of the fight says the clips that I was posting were clutch. Only trace of the ketchup masterpiece that exists now. Yeah, they seem to have deleted all the clips of Boucher ketchup, Pete. They scrubbed it from the internet.
The best fight of all time. That was like, Thriller in Manila. That was.
Well, we had the pleasure of meeting him, didn't we, in the hotel afterwards, and his crew.
He was actually really nice fella as well. To be fair,
yeah,
we said at the time, like, what happened there? Like, where did they find? And the funniest thing about that is when Dom was announcing him, and he said like Rugwood's record and what Jimmy fights at, blah blah blah, and then he was like fighting out of fitness center Senegal, and like he didn't announce his record. And I was like, wow, well, no, this guy's gonna be like it. Then straight away, it's something to talk about, isn't it? It was painful but funny to watch, wasn't it?
Yes, I guess we'll talk about it now. So, yeah, funny, wasn't it? The way he landed, he kind of jumped in the air. Maybe I can show my video, but I don't know. It just seemed weird, didn't it? Maybe the way that they were talking with each other, right? Do you feel that?
Like
I don't want to cast aspersions, Pete, but do you think perhaps they were in on it together?
You know what I said? I just been with JP and Stevie. Then I was like, something wasn't like, were they in on it? Something wasn't, because they were really pally at the end when we were sitting together.
Yeah, they were just chilling in the hotel. Maybe sometimes when you go through a war, it brings you together, doesn't it? You bond over.
Do you know the funniest thing about that? I think I told you when he was getting his gloves wrapped in the changing room, and he was in the same corner team, the same changing room as Ellis. And Ellis's trainer, little Thai guy, walked past, and like Ketchup just went rah, like roared in his face, and then he just went, "Scary man, very scary man." And walked off. I was just like, that was so funny. It cracked me up. Yeah.
Well, I'm
Very
glad
scary.
Ketchup had a nice little trip to Thailand. Yeah, and got some money, but yeah, I wouldn't expect to see him back in one championship. I don't know, would you?
You never know, do you? You never know one championship.
I think he could be the key actually to success for Rugrug defeating Anatoly Malakin. They need to get Ketchup in his corner.
The Senegal market, where 1-1-9-9 in Senegal. I don't know what the capital of Senegal is. That could be the next one.
Could be. I feel I said it to you guys. Yeah, Rugrug has improved a lot. I don't think we can really measure it though against Ketchup. So
no,
I was kind of sad. I wanted to see him. Yeah, I would like to have seen him get a real test before Malik and see where he's at. We don't know, do we? Now we just go into Atlanta on the back of that. But anyway,
yeah,
all-time classic. It's the story of the fight. Yeah, it was. I would say it was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it.
It was probably a good job that it wasn't. Say that was middle of the card.
Yeah,
it probably would have got more eyes. Where even like what? It was only because it was the second fight. Was it the second or third? It was before Ellis, wasn't it? I think it was the second fight. Second fight, yeah. So it didn't really have that much crowd there. Imagine that was a full crowd when that happened.
They were loving it, I think. I said that to Rick, and then Rick said no, they were laughing at it.
Yeah, I was watching that in the corner, and there was even an army guy was laughing, and they're usually really serious, don't show any facial expressions or emotion, and they were actually laughing. That's what I thought. Well, that's a good fight when they're laughing.
I didn't hate it. If it had gone 3 rounds and it was just sloppy, it would have been terrible. But yes, they scrubbed the net of the Ketchup clips. It was deleted from one's official account, I believe. But like the internet is forever. You cannot delete it. So it's popping up everywhere else. But yes, Stefan. Before that, you had Stefan, didn't you? He was one of your guys.
Yeah.
There was a tough KO. Really felt for it. But Balico missed weight as well. Yeah. Tough to see for you, I guess. How do you when you speak to a fighter after that?
See, when you work with someone and that happens, it's no matter what you say, it's a hard conversation to have with someone. So he's all good. But I actually spoke to him today. He's in good spirits. Just one of the things, dust off and go again. There's not really much else you can kind of say. That was the first camp that I did with him. Everything went smooth, made weight, hydration with these. So just on to the next one, as they say.
Yeah, it was a rough one, but they had the wheelchair came out. I could see it from my seat. That's one of the advantages. Whoever was asking me about my seat not being very good, you do get to see everything. I can see when they brought out the wheelchair, but Stefan was like, "No, I don't need it. He walked out of there, picked himself up. Interesting man, isn't he? I was speaking to his coach out there from Dublin, and he was telling me Stefan's backstory. Yeah, and seems like he's already overcome a lot in life. I'm sure he'll bounce back.
They're both top guys. Like I work with Craig, who works with them too, Craig Coakley. So on his last fight on one, so yeah, they're all bang on. Nice fellas. They're down to earth. So yeah, it's one of them. Like you know yourself, it happens. Same with like Luke, just dust off and go again. I'm sure they'll be back on soon.
Yeah, now this one is causing a lot of debate. Ellis got a split decision win over Alif. I'll show you the scorecards in a minute, but it all seemed to hinge on this big moment in the second round when Ellis knocked Alif down in the corner there. You can see it. Alif popped back up to his feet and then came out pretty hot in the third round. I think it was a clear round for him. All the judges gave the third round to Elif and the first, and then the second were 10-8s all across the board to Ellis. So it was 28-28 on all the scorecards. And then two judges, you can't have a draw in one, so you have to pick a winner. Two picked Ellis based on the knockdown. The third picked Elif because I imagine he felt the damage the Elif did was more important than the knockdown, but very close, Peter. I spoke to Ellis as well, so I know how he's feeling. But you must be happy. Another one, another win for the team.
Delighted. Like I've worked with Ellis. It's funny with me and Ellis because he was one of the first fighters I started working with in the UK, and then that was 3.5 years ago, and we've kind of been on this journey where he's grown as a fighter, I've grown as a business, so it's like nice to see that we're here on the big stage. You know, he's fighting, I'm helping fighters on one championship, so it's I was delighted for Ellis, really happy for him. And Elif, I've worked with Elif in the past. Like Elif is a very, very good fighter. So, you know, the way the one championship, the rule set, like he gets the knockdown. I when it finished, I thought Ellis had won. I didn't think, oh yeah, Elif won that. And I think when you seen Elif after it, you could tell that he didn't think he'd won that fight. So, yeah, there's always going to be controversy, and people go, this, you know, went this way, or, you know, Elif did this and that. But Ellis got the win and moved forward again, and he's making a name for himself in the division now. And I think potentially a title shot, maybe a fight, one more fight if he wins the next fight. I think you've got to give him a shot after.
Yeah, I took a cab with
Elif was beating everybody, was steamrolling everybody. Yeah, he lost his kickboxing debut on the 10-pole card, but before that, he was steamrolling everyone. So for Ellis to beat Elif's a massive win. It
is. It also shows how good Elif is, and hopefully Elif can get another fight soon. There is talk of a rematch. I asked Ellis about it. Ellis said he wouldn't mind it because it was so close. He'd give him that. But yeah, I dropped them off, those boys, at the airport. They were heading on to Pattaya. I was heading back to Hong Kong. We had a cab. Yeah, lovely lads, Ellis and Eunice. Yeah, the boys. Kept bumping into them like all week. You know, took a cab into town with them as well on Saturday night after the fight. To go and watch England match. Yeah, it was cool. But I wonder what you do with Ellis. Yeah, I think, do you do that rematch, or do you move him on to the next level, probably against Joseph Lasiri, something like that, get him in position to challenge Prajanchai next? I don't know. But I do feel Ellis, is very close to the belt now.
Yeah, I think if someone said, "Oh, would you do a rematch?" You'd say, you wouldn't say no to it, but I think, you know, one more fight and then the title fight. If he wins that for the title, I think that's definitely a good trajectory. But it's hard that division, because that division's not stacked with people, is there? So you're thinking of loads of names at the top of your head. So the Zeri, would he fight Ellis? Would he want to fight Ellis? I don't know. It's an interesting one. Yeah,
it's not much depth to strawweight. There are no official rankings. It's starting to get a little busier there, so hopefully soon we'll have rankings. But off the top of my head, the theory makes sense.
Ellis has always said about kickboxing. He'd do kickboxing, so if there's any potential fights in kickboxing, that potentially could be something to go down.
Rui Botello is there. He can do Muay Thai and kickboxing at strawweight. He's looking for a fight. He's coming off a win over Zhang, who beat Elif. So yeah, there's some good names out there. Anonymous says Elif was inaccurate and didn't do much damage. Ellis won easily. The people online mad are just fans from Malaysia. Move
if you
on.
Watch the first rounds, you don't. Everyone say, "Oh, yeah, Elif battered Ellis in the first round." He didn't really land anything significant in the first round. You'd say Elif probably did win the first round, but it wasn't as as one-sided as everyone makes out to be.
No, watching it in the stadium, I was of the mind that Ellis. It was a very close first round, but I didn't feel like Ellis is, struggling at all.
Yeah.
And the knockdown, when he got a knockdown, I thought, all right, he's won this fight, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because I thought he maybe would have won first round. But
Ellis is tough as anything as well. Like, I was speaking to JP after, he's like, Ellis is like, JP's trained the Leaf for a long time, and it's like Ellis is really, really tough, and he was taking everything that Leaf was giving him. So, Ellis is going to be a hard man to beat, because I don't think you're stopping Ellis. Like, and a Leaf, as I said, like a Leaf was steamrolling people beforehand.
Yeah, I like Ellis. Something about him, but love the high guard as well. Incredible, elite level. Looks like the chat wants to move on from Ellis. Yeah, Ellis to move on from a Leaf. I agree. But a Leaf, I hope he gets a good matchup too, because I think both guys show their top 5. If you do,
and you got to think as well. Yeah. I think a Leaf's 20 and Ellis is 24, so still really, really crazy.
What is the accent the guest has? That is a Liverpool accent, I believe.
That's it.
Yeah,
it's sometimes hard to understand.
Some people struggle with it. I've been around Scousers my whole life. So.
Medy can't understand me sometimes. I can tell when Medy can't, because he just looks and smiles. You probably couldn't then.
Yeah, I think it's hard for some people to understand Nico Carrillo too. I feel he's got a very thick Glaswegian accent, I think. Right, we're gonna move on quickly up this card. Who's next? Okay, we did catch up. Hiroba and Jeremy, don't really need to talk about that. I didn't like these MMA fights they had. Black Panther we discussed with Medy. Wilder and Jayway again. Well, it didn't set the world on fire, the MMA. Luke and Vampire we took. Kang Kirill, I kind of missed that as well. The grappling, I'm not sure anyone wants to talk about. Let's talk about Nico Carrillo. Nico Carrillo, Semipet. Your guy, Nico. Everyone was saying, wait, Billy. Yeah, he did what he came to do, didn't he? Stopped Semipet in the second round, 3 knockdowns. Pretty emphatic in the end, wasn't it, Pete?
Yeah, pretty. I think I was expecting that. It was either going to be first or second round. I thought he was just going to be too powerful for him. And
he was far too powerful for him, yeah.
It just showed in the end. But people say, oh, yeah, Nico's massive, but he's a very, 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 very good fighter. He's a world-class fighter. So people take that away from him, which is absolutely crazy. They talk about his size, but he's a world-class fighter.
Yes, he says, I'm like a shark when I smell blood, and it does feel like when he has you in trouble, there's nothing you can do to really get out of it. I've seen.
I think after the first knockdown, you're seeing this is it now.
Yes, so
Nico sensed it, and it was. I wouldn't say I was surprised at what happened. I was pretty much expecting that.
Yes, same here. A 50K bonus, though, was possibly a surprise given that he hasn't had one yet. So he was very happy with that, and he's gone on holiday to Bali. Coming back now for Stevie's fight on Friday.
Yeah.
But yes, I talk about the video you put up on Instagram. Seems to be catching a lot of, because you tagged me in it, so I've seen all the comments. There's some haters who are disagreeing, I think, with your approach to refueling fighters with things like Haribo and
getting pushback from the Haribo, which is I think the word for that is majoring the minor things. You've got it. I think people don't understand the concept of refueling for a fighter and the time that you've got to refuel. You're weighing in at 5 o'clock. You need to get food in quickly. You need fast, easy, digestible carbohydrates. So the crossover between sports nutrition and quote unquote healthy foods kind of gets crossed a little bit, where things like gummies, cereals, sports drinks, they're the things that are going to get in your system quick and help you refuel quickly. If you ate 500 grams worth of carbs in rice, potatoes, vegetables, you're going to feel like absolute shit. And I challenge anyone who on the comments who said that to go and do that and tell me how you feel after it. And you know, you're always going to get like the comments, people saying weight bully on the post, and it's just sometimes you're like you try not to rise to it, like, you know, this is sports nutrition. This is what, you know, people who do the Tour de France have hundreds and hundreds of grams of carbs a day, all through like gels, sweets, sugary things, which the normal person will go, oh, this is crazy food. How can you give this to a person? But that's the type of food you need to get in you sometimes to get the carbs in, to replenish your carb stores and get you ready for the fight.
Yeah, so you rose to the bait. You bit back a couple of comments. Yeah,
bit back. And do you know what? And I realised why I've bitten back. It's sometimes that's the thing of social media. You rise to the bait, and then I realised, don't rise to that shit.
Yeah.
The funny thing is as well, people think, oh, you're just giving them that. No, we're not just giving them that. Like a handful of like Haribo or a small bowl of cereal, we're not feeding them just that. It's just things in between the meals to just top up the carb stores in the body, make sure they're refueled. So when people lose their minds at seeing Fruit Loops and Haribos, it's such it's major and such a minor thing.
Yeah, here it is. It begins with fluids and electrolytes. Then you introduce liquid carbs.
Yeah.
Pocari Sweat, Gatorade, things like that. Light carb snacks are slowly introduced. Fruit Loops, Haribo. That's what got everyone angry. Yeah, and then there's a main meal, a burrito, looks like.
So as I said to you, like with a 5 p.m. weigh-in, you've got to really be careful of what food you're getting in. If you're eating really big meals in that time period, you're going to feel too full and you're not going to want to eat, you're not going to want to drink, and then that displaces your recovery foods for that whole evening then, just because you wanted to, you know, be a greedy cunt and have a big burger and chips. Like, you know, you've got to time this right. And they're the kind of foods that can get in you. So I think I mentioned on the post as well. So a small pack of Haribo is about 35 grams, and it's got about 30 grams of carbs in. So half a packet of microwave rice is about 35 grams of carbs. So a handful of Haribo is going to fill you up. It's not going to fill you up nowhere near as much as if you'd had half a packet of rice. So you've got to be smart with your refueling strategies. But as I said, it's hard to explain to the normal person about sports nutrition because people don't know. That's just
yeah. Fruit Loops and candy.
That was a funny comment. I think he cut more than 10 kilos in a day. If Nico cut 10 kilo in a day, he wouldn't be here. Nico would be deceased. It'd be Nico deceased Grillo.
Yeah, this was the guy. Haribo's the Fruit Loops on a weight cut is not food. Not sure why you deleted the comments, mate. Yeah. I guess you just didn't want to rise to him further.
Oh, you know what? Like sometimes the comments like, why I rose to it and I got annoyed at myself for rising to it, so I just deleted it. Just thought.
Yeah. This guy, they didn't seem to understand, and
yeah.
You know, that is what it is, right?
Yeah, he's gonna get that. It's people have got different opinions. You do your job, you do your job right. So yeah.
Yes. Weight bully. Everyone talking about this. Nico had his say on it. You've had your say on it. The weight bully argument is dumb, says Chester. If he has the ability to make it and compete, good for him. It's like complaining about a 7'6" tall basketball player, calling them a height bully. Yeah, I think I know your thoughts, but yeah, go for it.
what about all the people who miss weight at the show? Are they weight bullies because they miss weight? Do you know what I mean? Nico made weight and hydration. He was the 4th or 5th person to weigh in. So if someone who's just such a weight bully and really struggling to get the weight off, Nico will be last on the scales, absolutely drawn to death. Like people just jump it. And I was saying this to JP today. People always say that now, weight bully, because it's such a cheap comment to say, and they don't see the work that's put behind the scenes and the planning. It was probably the best cut we've had to date. I've done 3 camps now with Nico at bantamweight, and it was the best one. It was no weight cuts ever easy, but for him, he's mentioned it. JP's mentioned it. They've never seen him cut weight that easy. So when people making comments, oh, he's a weight bully, he's this and that. What about all the people that are missing weight and hydration? Because they're missing weight, they're struggling more than Nico. So they classed as weight bullies because they can't make the weight.
Yes, it seems some people agree with you. Story of the fight, the way I see it, he's visibly bigger than most fights he faces. That's a factor worth talking about, but it's not worth everything, and he makes weight every time. Anonymous points out on Reddit. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, if he was missing weight and hydration and stuff, you'd have a bit of an argument. Say, like the live weigh-ins, he failed hydration and it took him 3-4 times, whatever, to do it. Then you say, okay, like, you know, he's struggling. But if he's doing it first time, every time, no dramas, never missing hydration or anything, I don't know how people can say that.
Yes. Well, there we go. He made weight. He won the fight, is what it is. It's always going to be controversial. I don't think anyone will ever stop, even if you point out facts and back it up with science, whatever. Yeah, it's always going to be like that. And Nico will have to deal with that, I think, as long as he stays at bantamweight, because he just looks so big, right?
You mentioned, isn't it? I think even if he fought a featherweight, people are going to say the same thing. It's just the comment that people go by now, and yeah. That comment then about Nabil, is he a hype bully? Like it's just I think anyone who's in the sport knows the scenario and knows how it works and knows that, like, he's not. It's just a stupid argument, really.
All right. Well, you got time to hang around, or you need to leave? What's up?
Well, mate, I'm all good.
Well, yeah, I wanted to talk about. Take it back a couple weeks to the first show we were out there for. Friday Fight 68. John DiBella, Prajan Chai. That caused a lot of debate too. Talking about debate. I'm sorry if it's a little out of date, guys, but I haven't been able to do a podcast on it since it happened. But yeah, John DiBella, you were working with him. How was his cut? Everything fine?
One of the easiest cuts I think I've done for the World Title Fight 1 Championship. No dramas whatsoever.
Yeah, big change to last time when he didn't pass the hydration, got sick, was in hospital. I think that's why he brought you on board, right?
I got hired to do one job, get him on weight, make hydration, and I promised that when I signed up. I said, you won't have any issues. And he didn't.
Did not. He had some issues with the judges, though. They didn't see it for John DiBella, and they saw it for Prajan Chai. 2 judges, 4-1. The other one, 3-2. I put my opinion out there. I rarely do this, but yeah, I put my opinion out. I thought it was 3-2 DiBella. A lot of people seem to be the same opinion that he won the first 3 rounds. Prajan Chai won the second 2. But I spoke to the judges after, and yeah, you saw their scorecards, and 4-1. A lot of people didn't see it the same way. It's caused a lot of debate. What do you think, Pete? I think you're on the same wavelength as me. I can't really remember what you said. Feels like it's so long ago. So I hope, yeah.
I haven't actually watched it again, but when I watched it live, I had 1 and 2 to DiBella, and then 3 was very, very close. But I was swaying more towards DiBella, and then I thought 4 and 5 was Prajan Chai. But this is talking with someone who doesn't, I'm no judge. I don't know the finite, scoring criteria, but that's what I thought personally. And then but the thing when people say, "Oh, I wouldn't class," he lost the fight, but I wouldn't say it was a robbery. It was a very, very close fight where people said it could have gone 3-2, DeBella could have gone 3-2 Pradenchai. So I think it 100% deserves a rematch, like 100%. It sets up a perfect rematch, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd like to see that rematch in Atlanta. I know that they're talking about it.
These are close. Like it's you have to do a rematch. Yeah, I think Atlanta would be perfect. But yeah, when I watched, like when we waiting for it to get announced who would won, I generally thought, oh, the Bellas won this. I thought, and then, but yeah, people know more about the score and stuff than me, and yeah, just get the rematch on again.
I think this is the key point, as Anonymous points out. It's the clinches, the illegal clinches. Apparently, Pradenchai. If those weren't allowed, yes, perhaps DeBella wins, but they are illegal under the one rule set. So that's where Pradenchai was doing his damage. Props to him. I think he really adjusted well in the middle of the fight and got stronger, whereas DeBella fell off and waned. After the third round,
Yes.
DeBella, it didn't look good in the fourth round. Pradenchai won that clearly, and that's when the fight I felt really swung Pradenchai's way. And I was thinking, well, if DeBella's got 3 rounds in the bag, he's okay. But if one of those rounds is shaky, then he could be in trouble here and lose a decision. But turned out, all the judges saw the first round for Pradenchai anyway. So
yeah, and that was really surprising to me. I thought DeBella was probably his best round, the first round, but yeah.
You're right. We don't know the scoring criteria as well as these judges do. I'm not going to criticize them or call them out or anything. I trust their opinions. Yeah, and I'm just giving my opinion. Yeah, so no hatred, or I'm not calling it a robbery or anything like that. If a fight is 3-2, either way, it's not a robbery. I think.
Well, it's the same thing with like what happened with Elif and Ellison, and she'd comment say, "Oh, it's a robbery," and it's the same thing with the weight bully. It's such a cheap comment to throw out nowadays, like robbery, when it's like, like how is it like? Yeah, it's unfortunately that's just social media.
Yeah, a few phrases. Fraud check as well. As a story of the fight points out.
I've never heard of fraud check. I don't think. Fraud check.
Yeah, I think Ketchup got fraud checked by Rug, you could say.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. You talk a big game and then you get found out. But people use it like if they lose a close decision, it's like, oh, I got fraud checked. It's like, no,
I've never heard of that before.
Oh,
crazy. Yeah.
We're not as young as these kids these days.
Yeah. Hey, we're getting old now. Getting old.
Yeah. DeBella was mad. DeBella's team was mad during the entire fight. I was behind them. It says the kids. Yeah, I was watching them. I could see them from my spot there. I know. Yeah, I feel like they were livid after the whole thing. They felt they won the fight, and you got to feel for them. I do hope they make that rematch. Story of the fight says I had 3-2 DeBella when watching live. Then on rewatch, I ended up giving 3-4-5 to Pradenchai. Toss up fight, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm cool. A 3-2 either way, I think is what I would have said. All right, that's fine. The 4-1s I just thought was a little wide, but.
And the thing is, before the fight, everyone was saying Pradenchai was a massive favourite. He's going to steamroll. Like it showed that DeBella is. Well, he's a world champion. He's a world class fighter. So I think he surprised quite a lot of people because a lot of the times I think and reading the Facebook pages and stuff that Pradenchai was just going to steamroll him. But yeah, shows that like DeBella is world class, and I think it sets up perfectly for Atlanta.
Yeah, his reputation was enhanced, I feel, even though he lost. But yeah, a 4-1 scorecard looks wide, but it might be. It's not necessarily you're saying, oh, the fight was one fighter dominated, because those 4 rounds that the fighter won, can all be close rounds. So I'm just trying to give judges their fair dues here. I don't want people to hate them or anything. And you can have a 4-1 scorecard, and all 4 of those rounds could be close rounds. So it's just the way the scoring is.
Someone's got to win the round, haven't they? So it could be a fine margin. So yeah, I don't like the Bellin's team. Like awesome people to work with. Like really enjoyed the whole week with them, and yeah, really good people. Is like top people to work with. So look forward to it.
Agree with you. Anonymous says, my conspiracy theory is that DiBella was never meant to win. The script was written so we get yet another double champ from Thailand. Pejij is next. Well, yeah, there's a couple of guys now from that gym who have got these decisions in the last couple of months. Tawan Chai, Prajan Chai. People not happy when Tawan Chai won the belt. They weren't booing this time, Pete. There was no boos. So maybe they didn't think it was as bad of a decision. But we were at Impact Arena. Never heard anything like it in my life. Tawan Chai being
I was having room service in the hotel because that was after the Liam debacle, so I didn't go.
Yeah. I was there. It was mad. Never heard anything like it. But DiBella, there weren't boos, but I think people were coming up to DiBella outside the stadium. Thai fans saying, we thought you won. Some fans came to the hotel to take pictures with DiBella, shake hands, said, thought you won. So you never know. Like I think rematch is the right way to go.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll see what happens. Story of the fight says DiBella is so damn good. He adjusted so well to Prajan stance switch in 4 and 5. I wonder if they run it back, says Anonymous, or if DiBella fights someone else since it was a UD. DiBella was robbed. There's family S. Grant. What's up, Grant? I hope you're having a good holiday. South Africa. What's nuts is how fast he returns to stance after those 4 strike combos. Agreed. Yes. A great showing for him, like we said. Even though he lost, I think a lot of people sat up and took notice of DiBella. There are a lot more eyes on him on this card, and I think on the other 2 cards he's fought on the fight nights, when he beat Zhang and won the belt, and when he defended against Daniel Williams. There were millions of people in Thailand watching that show, no doubt. So I think good reputation enhancer for John DiBella. Future's bright. He's still very young as well. Showed what he's all about. And I got a couple of bags of the coffee. Did you get any coffee?
I sure did. Sure did.
I'll be trying to figure out how to make espresso properly this time. I butchered it before. Yes. It's funny that Thai fans are coming up with nicknames like Tawan Chai, Prajan Chai, Sitio Tong, and Chatri PK Science Chai. Oh, God. Yes, his walkout is top tier. Should be a fan favorite. That he comes out to the Godfather song. You can't go wrong with that, can you?
Yeah.
Right. So, who else do you have on that card? Anyone to talk about? I kind of feel like that's the only thing.
Thorny.
Let me look. Friday fight 68.
Co-main.
Yeah, Superlek Kongtorny. Let's go. Yeah. You had Kongtorny this time, not Superlek.
Not Superlek, yeah.
And Superlek made it look easy, didn't he? It's crazy, given how high Kongtorny's level is, and he was looking in better shape than ever. But Superlek just shut him down, right?
Yeah, I think it's one of the things. Is there's levels, Kongtorny's like top level, but then Superlek's just that little tier above, and that showed. I've seen it firsthand. I was in Japan with Superlek. I've seen it live. I know how good he is, and it's just a different level, Superlek, isn't he?
Yeah, I was saying to you, to other people, I feel like he didn't even get out of second gear, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a car person, so what?
I think he would just get the fight done, get his pace, and then back to focusing on John.
Yep. Now he's off to Canada, I believe, to train with Pet Penomrong, his buddy, friend, and then on to Denver. But yes,
right?
surprised he took the fight, but yeah, there it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
He made it
So
look easy.
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see now how what he does for John, because going down to 61 and then up again, it's going to be interesting to see how his body adapts to that, which is
Yes.
which is good for our end because he's dieting twice. John's ticking over nicely, so we're in a good position.
Yeah, I heard. Sorry, I mean, I thought that Superlek would take this time to build the body up into proper.
And the other thing, people say, "Oh yeah, you can put on a bit of size in a couple of months." Doing it properly takes a long period of time. Like people who lift in the gym and who want to put on a bit of weight, but a bit of muscle mass, know that it takes a long time to do it properly. Like it takes months. So Superlek's not just going to go in the next 6 weeks and build up to some monster machine. He's going to eat, maybe put on a bit of weight. He'll probably put on a little bit of body fat as well. So he's not going to be a 145 and in absolutely like solid condition, because that's just not how it works. So yeah, it was a strange decision for him to take that fight. If that was from my opinion, anyway.
That's what I thought when he took the Haggerty fight. I think it was around March they announced, or maybe a bit later.
Yeah, I think it was around March time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought, all right, he's got solid 6 months to put on some actual muscle, build into this frame, because you need to. I think we've seen Haggerty has done that properly, and then they announced this fight, and I thought, hang on a sec, that's a bit bizarre. And he's gonna be tiny for Haggerty, so people are going back and forth. Haggerty, Superlek, yeah, it's definitely maybe tilts things in Haggerty's favor. Do you think, Pete?
So what I say this all the time to people in this level, win and losing is with fine margins. So if John's training in camp for a little bit longer, eating good, not having to diet down and all that gives a little margin of advantage. That builds the stacks a deck of cards in his favor. Superlek has to get back into another routine again after dieting down to 61. So I think it'd be stupid and naive to say that it's not going to make, well, from like a nutritionist point of view, even though like I work with John, I obviously got that bias towards John, but it'd be stupid to say that it's not going to have an impact, because 100% it will, especially with the time period, because Denver's 9 weeks away. Yeah, he might go back up to 69, 70 kilos again, but that's not going to be 69, 70 kilos of like putting on muscle. He's most likely going to put on a bit of fat mass again. He's probably going to want to eat what he likes to get the weight up. I've heard he is working with a nutritionist based in Thailand now. So yeah, be interesting to see what they do.
Anonymous says, I think Superlek's skill will outweigh Haggerty's weight. Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? So a question for you though, Pete, from Tetsuya. Will it be hard for you when Nico fights Haggerty for the belt, since you have good relationships with both? Well, maybe if Superlek wins the belt, they don't fight. But yes, in let's do that's hypothetical. What happens?
It's one of them things. I don't. When that time comes, and if it comes, then that's the conversation to be had. But I can't predict the future, so it's as the guy in the comment said, I've got a really good relationship with both of them. Like I've been on John's journey at bantamweight when he came back, when he fought Kuzman and Nongo. So I've been on big journey with John, and yeah, cross that bridge when it comes to that. That's my final my final saying.
Gong Torney versus Nabil next. That would also be two of your guys, wouldn't it?
That's well, that'd be I don't think that'd happen. I think Nabil Lobo would be a great fight.
Yeah, would get him fast track to the top 5.
I think it's
right.
I think in a couple of years' time, like obviously I've got 3 people in the top 5, haven't I? Liam, Nico, and John. But I think give a couple of years, Nabil's going to be challenging or right up there. Especially how young he is, he puts on a bit more muscle mass, grows into the weight. I think he's going to be very dangerous. And for Nabil's size, he's a horrible fight for anybody. I don't think anyone in that top 5 would want to fight Nabil.
He's legit bigger than every featherweight I've interviewed, I think, in one.
Yeah.
And even a lot of the lightweights, he's taller than.
But even
literally.
I've spoken to Liam before, and he's like, that'd be a horrible fight to have again. Like you fight Nabil, that's a very awkward fight. So I don't think, he continues to learn and develop his skills. In a couple of years' time, I think he's going to be very, very dangerous. How the bantamweight division is going to look in a couple of years' time, who knows? John might go into pastures new and go to a different weight class, go into a different sport. You never know. But I definitely think Nabil is here for the next couple of years now.
Yeah, I was going to say this, but story of the fight beat me to it. At this rate, every fight will be between 2 of Pete's guys. Yes.
Well, what's it been so far this year in the one fight? So there's been Superlek Takeru, Smiller, Natalia, Hong Thorny Superlek. I'm trying to think who else is. I think that's it up to now. I think that's it. Two big ones, like the Superlek Takeru one was pretty cool. The whole card resting on my shoulders, that was a lot of pressure.
Yeah. You're part of the furniture now, aren't you? You're just
waiting for the hydration samples to come in that room. I'm like, even though you've done it multiple times, it always has that little, when the pressure's there, you'd always get it.
It's tense indeed. Right, Tetsuya says Cameron Nabati seems to be fighting Nongo soon, probably August or September. Oh God, no! Stop giving Nongo these monsters, please. Can we just let Nongo fight some normal-sized humans? Let him retire with dignity. Oh God, do you feel Nongo could go down to, he got with a nutritionist, go down to flyweight?
He's not very. He's quite stocky, isn't he? He's got quite big shoulders. He's not ripped, so he does have looks like he's got a little bit of potential weight to sit if he did it right. But there's pros and cons to everything. Moving on a weight class, it's you'd have to weigh up what is it really worth it. I think Nongo's he's not. I don't think he's a small bantamweight. I don't know what your opinion of it, but I remember he fought.
He used to look like the right size, but this division is becoming monsters now. Everyone is looking like featherweights, and I don't think Nongo can. He's not too tall, is he? But he's thick.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's thick, so I don't think he's. Yeah, that's what's actually going to be probably quite interesting over the next couple of years. And one, now that nutrition, S&C is getting implemented more and more in these Thai gyms. Like a year ago, I'd have never worked with Superlek or Kong Thorny. Like these people are trying to implement these things now. So, how many fighters are going to maybe make a switch to a lower weight class, or maybe think, oh, I might move up a weight class. Now that I've got someone, I'm working with a nutritionist. Sorry.
Well, yeah, this guy Nabati, that was a scary KO against Sewer Black. He's going to be a problem for sure.
Bantamweight is that's probably the most stacked division.
It's huge. Yeah, it's the best division I think in one right now.
And I've got 6 people on bantamweight.
Yeah, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to have everyone fighting each other. We talked about Petanong with Medy. Shadow beating Jimmy Viano. Good win for Shadow. Pakon looked good, obviously, against Rafi. Yodlek Pet. Suryanlek looked really cool. Yeah, it was a good show. Maybe we won't get into all of that, but I wanted to do the main and the co-main, yeah. So if you have any questions, probably wrap it up in 5 or 10 minutes, guys. But Nick, what do you think of Chatri's post about one being profitable? When was that? A few weeks ago. I feel like I talked about it on the show before. I'm not a finance guy. I don't know anything about finances. If you take off my media hat and I'm a fan of one, would I like them to be profitable? Yeah, I would love it. I think everyone would. I do feel they've trimmed back a lot of excess and they've got a nice product now based in Thailand. The Thailand over the last 18 months has exploded the way we saw, 168 or was it 167? Sorry, in June. That just wouldn't have been possible 18 months ago. They've gained a lot of ground in Thailand. They have millions of viewers every week there on TV, national TV. So doing very well in Thailand. Are they bursting? Are they doing as well overseas and globally? That's the question. They need to really get going in the US with these shows in Denver and Atlanta later this year. They can get a good crowd there both times in these arenas. These are big arenas, basketball arenas, 12,000, 15,000 people. They can pack those out. That's a positive sign. But yes, I'm not the expert on the revenues and everything. So I'll let the financial experts dissect those things. I stick to the fights and the fighters, Pete, right?
That's it. Maybe I don't know anything about financial things. I can just about look after my own money, so don't know about anyone else's.
I can't look after my own money, so yes, I'm not gonna
say that.
Yeah. Chatri putting Nongo through the gauntlet for sure. Is it safe to say bantamweight most stacked in all of combat sports? The amount of talent is unbelievable. It could be, yes, it could be, and it's just getting stronger every few months. And I feel like some of the guys that they're starting to come up to the main roster now, but they've been on Friday Fights Lumpinee for the last year and a half for some of these guys, and now they're just starting to come up, and you're going to see a lot of changes to one's rankings. I think a lot of people are complaining about one's rankings. Some of the divisions have been stale. Guys in the top 5 haven't fought for so long, yada yada. That's not going to be the case much longer. These guys coming up from Lumpinee are going to take their spots, I'm pretty sure, and there's going to be some real pathways to titles now, which is what the point was of this whole Friday Fights. In the beginning, I thought it was to create an ecosystem of a pathway for talent to go up to the main roster. So I think it's doing its job and it's starting to bear fruit. US shows have got to cost a ton. Yeah, I think they will. Speaking of looking after your own finances, I finally booked my hotel in Denver, says Story of the Fight. What is this world coming to? Yeah, I don't dare book one yet.
Hotel, and it was, tell you what, Denver's expensive, mate.
Yeah, it was freaking expensive. I had a look. Last time I spent a stupid amount of my own money on it. Quite big a tent, yeah. Yeah, we'll go sleep outside the arena.
Yeah,
well,
I'm going to be flying from Australia, so I'll be flying from Sydney, and it's going to take about 20 hours to get there, I think.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
That is pretty rough. I will also have a horrible journey from Hong Kong.
Where'd you have to go to?
Last time I went to Tokyo and then straight to Denver, which was not too bad, but other people seem to have 3 flights from Asia going through Los Angeles and stuff.
I'm going to Australia. I'm going to go back to Australia for a bit, and then I'm going to fly from Australia.
Yeah, card's looking good. They announced some more fights. Johan Gonzalez, your former charge, against Joshua Cruz. Yeah, I feel like it's another attempt at a layup for Johan, perhaps after he lost the
Well,
last fight.
I had Cruz's last opponent, Sean, who stopped him in the round. So
yeah,
if anything goes by that, obviously the one clearly want to build Johan up and it's a good. He's still. I suppose if you could look at it in two ways and go, well, he's fighting someone who he should be fighting because he's still so young.
agreed.
Whereas, and then if you looked at the other way and go, oh, they've given him someone who's 2-0 first round stoppages. Oh, they're giving him someone easy. But then you look, well, he's probably fighting someone that he needs to be fighting at his age and at his level because he's a good fighter, but he's not at that elite level yet. So he needs some top up fights. Same with like what happens in boxing, isn't it? When someone up and comings, you give them a few fights to build them up and then slowly introduce them to bigger names. And I think they just probably introduced them to that little bit higher level fighting than him at this stage in the last fight.
Yeah, I think they jumped the gun slightly.
He was experienced, wasn't he? The last guy, like he was no mug. He's been around, so maybe they just kind of jumped the gun a little bit. And these are the people Johan should be fighting right now.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. People are going to hate on it though, but this is how you build stars, and they see a lot of star power in Johan, and he's already a big name in Malaysia. He's on billboards and everything for JD Sports. Yeah, exactly. So I'm on board with this matchmaking. Yeah, great way to start the card. Presumably Johan, they expect him to go out there and get a good first round finish, something like that. So why not? And then Ong La and Shamil Erdogan has also been confirmed for this card. I obviously love Ong La, my guy. Tough fight after it'd be a year and a half nearly for Ong La out, and he's getting on there in age, 38, 39. So we'll see if Ong La can still go in the middleweight division with these up and comers. And then Tetsuka versus Pitikefu was confirmed today. I've known about that one for a little while, but yes, welterweight MMA. That division still exists, apparently. Just we don't know when the champ is back. Christian Lee, Liam Harrison 6, and yes, here we go. And I fully expect this will be confirmed that Stamp is not fighting Zhang Jingnan. I don't know why they still put it on there. She's
another title fight. I think they're going to try and get another.
Well, I did propose Miller versus Jingnan mixed rules. They didn't seem to go for it. But my working theory is Rod Tang comes and saves the show. You know what I mean? He's the headline. Probably not going to be in the headliner, but he'll be the co-main, maybe, or third before the grappling. And he's going to fight.
They know to get in touch with. They know to call.
Yes. They're going to need you, I think. Yeah, because he didn't make weight last time, obviously. But yeah, I think Rod Tang will come in, fight, get an easy matchup, get a good win. And then Takeru will fight in September, when I imagine they're going to do this next big Lumpinee pay-per-view, and he'll get an easy matchup and get a good win. And then they'll do Rod Tang versus Takeru in Japan in maybe January, something like that, December at the earliest. Because that was, it looked like we were going to have a Japan show in September, but it looks like it's off now. They renamed 170 Atlanta to 169. So you have to imagine 169 was meant to be Tokyo. Doesn't look like it's happening now. And I think it's because Stamp Fairtex got injured. And now they need Rod Tang to come and headline this show, sell these tickets. And I've been pushing for that. I think it makes a lot of sense. But anyway.
Who would he fight, do you think?
I've heard I can't see it. I'll tell you later, but it's interesting.
Would it be for the belt?
I don't think so. I don't know. Well, I'll talk to you offline. But I would expect they won't do a title defense because you don't want to beat Rodtang. A, you don't want him to lose a belt, and B, you want him to get a win going into Takeru fight, which will be kickboxing. So it's probably going to be a kickboxing fight or something like that. But get him familiar with the rule set. Do you have info about Anissa Mexon? DK says, I do, but I can't say it. But yeah, I'm sure that'll be announced soon. Yeah. For tickets, Nick, that's why it's still on there. Okay, yes, that's why Stamp's there, I think, to sell tickets. But I fully expect they're going to swap Stamp out soon and put Rodtang on there, and they'll announce Rodtang's fight. This is what I expect. It's my speculation, though. I'm not reporting it. Anyway, that's it. We're an hour and a half. That's when we end these things. So, Pete, thank you for jumping on. What are you up to the rest of the week?
Do Stevie's weight cut tomorrow. Then we're going to go to Samui over the weekend. Catch up see John and Freddie. Because I'm staying under my, so see what they're up to, catch up with them. And then, yeah, that's about it, really, mate.
A typical week for you in Bangkok, huh?
Living the dream.
Yeah. Well, I'll be back out. Oh, God, it creeps up on you, doesn't it? I'll be back in 3 weeks from today. I think I'll be doing my interviews, and we go again for One Fight Night 24, August 3rd. So, I'll be arriving on July 30th.
Yeah, I won't see you, mate, till Denver. I'm not going to be at that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, Denver it is then. Yeah, okay. Who's going to make weight then? Everyone's going to fail or what?
It's got me on speed dial. I think FaceTime me. No, I've got 3 people on that card. 2, 3. Everyone's all good. It's just I'm not going to be at this one, which is weird because I've been at like everyone since the start of the year. But
yeah, I feel like we've both been. I missed the first one of the year, but I've been at everything else since pretty much. Who you got on here?
I've got.
Tell me you got Gustavo, please.
I'm going to Gustavo. I'll probably be helping Craig out. Final week or so. No, Amy.
Oh, against Yu Yao Pui, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So then 2, yeah.
All right. Kuzmin again. Jesus.
He gets about Kuzmin, doesn't he?
Yeah. And he'll miss weight again. And then
the thing is, I think I've said this to you, like, if you were really smart and going, do you know what? I want to fight, but just can't be bothered making weight. I'll just make sure to pass hydration. And if I'm not bothered about losing 20% of my person, just coming a little over. If you really couldn't be bothered, like, you could easily do that. That's probably what he thinks. I'll just fucking miss weight, and that's only 20%.
Yeah, because he fights every couple months, so
yeah, and he misses weight every time as well.
Misses weight every time.
He missed weight in Qatar, I think, as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at his topology. He missed for that Qatar fight. Did he miss for the Sewer Black fight? He lost that one in April. Probably did.
Sure. Yeah. Probably.
Anyway, I don't want to slander poor old Vladimir, so we'll leave him alone. But that's it. That's the show, everyone. What's your question, Chester? Rashad versus Rampage in Atlanta. Oh, yes, I should briefly talk about this. We hope there is truth to this. What I say is, I think it's actually kind of smart. It's probably going to get casuals into the arena, right? And that's a big arena, 15,000 State Farm Arena. I can't think they can pack that out, with the headliner Malakin versus Rugrug. They need to get some names that casual American fans know. Rashad Evans, Quinton Rampage Jackson, yes, and a boxing match. It's silly, it's fun. But it's Pete. It's probably higher level than Ketchup and Rug, right?
Oh, I was hoping that was going to be he was going to come on. He was going to fight the another Senegalese person.
Ketchup, he does his own thing, you know. Like I was telling you, you can't get a superstar like that on the podcast.
Hey, flights from Senegal to Atlanta must cost a fortune.
Yeah, he's a VIP. You know, I gotta go through so many people. Yeah. That's like getting McGregor. You know?
Maybe if Rampage or one of them pulls out, maybe he can jump in replacement. Rampage versus billboards all over America.
I think that will sell out the arena, State Farm Arena, for sure.
Get it in the MGM Grand, move it to Vegas. Let's just go all out.
Yeah, we're gonna upgrade. We go to that new NFL stadium in Vegas with Ketchup and Rampage. Yeah, no, for real. Just I do think it sells a few tickets, and I'm not against it really. It's marketed the right way. And it just got a free plug on Joe Rogan's podcast, so I think they'd be crazy not to at least think about it. But yeah, other than that, I wonder what they're gonna pull out the bag, because like with Rodtang in Denver, I think that it's lacking that big, very recognizable name. Tawanchai in the co-main, is it enough to? I'm not sure. Tawanchai's there with American audiences. I think Rodtang is. I think Stamp is. Then you need someone like, if it's Demetrius Johnson, I don't know what he's doing. He's in limbo. They need to find something, yeah. So unless Rodtang can blow through the opponent in Denver in the first round and maybe come back quickly, they're going to have to get creative, I would say, with this. So let's see if that's real, whether it's just hearsay. But anyway, we're out of here. Pete, thanks for joining. I'll see you in Denver. Thanks for watching, everyone. Yeah, I'll be back on Monday, I think. Sorry, there was only one show this week. I was so tired on Monday. I showed you that video, right, Pete? I just passed out and was snoring. I was knackered from Bangkok, so I didn't do Monday. But next week, I promise, guys, we'll be back Monday and Wednesday. We'll get it going again, get it popping. Appreciate you all watching. And yes, as Chester says, I just want more eyes on one to see how great the product is they offer, so I support it. Yeah, so we're all fans at the end of the day of one championship. Let's remember that. All right, everyone, thank you. See you next time.